Yes. Can you fix this? Okay. Good afternoon, each and every one of you. Welcome. Premier, the Honorable E. David Burt, JP MP, the Minister Lightbourne Simmons, Minister Wilson, Minister Fogo, Minister Keynes, Minister Brown, and I see the Minister of Finance, along with the Deputy Governor Alison Crockett, Leader of the Opposition Craig Kenneneer, U.S. Consul General Constance Dearman, Senator Nick Kemp, and members of the Parliament, honorary consuls, event organizers, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Mayor and the members of the City of Hamilton, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the steps of the City Hall as we recognize International Women's Day, not only here in Bermuda, but around the world. For generations, women have been fighting for rights, their rights to vote, their rights to go to school and university, their right to equal pay, their right to be heard, and sometimes even their right in some countries to drive a car, to even work and run for public office. The list is endless. But with the Me Too movement last year, we saw a shift as women across the globe called out in solidarity. The momentum and energy has continued, and it's brought gender disparity to the headlines. Women no longer need to hide, to be ashamed, to prove their worth, to fight so hard for something that they should feel the common sense, the law of the land, and equal opportunity. Women are our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our protectors. Their compassion and nurturing ways help mold us into the adults we will become. I applaud and thank the local organizers for celebrating and recognizing the contribution of women, and it's my hope that one day we refer to gender equality in historical terms. Again, welcome to City Hall.
Thank you, Consul. And now, for your MC, let's put it up for Power Girl.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to International Women's Day 2019 for Bermuda. Can we make some noise? Now, we're not going to sit there and be all starchy about it because we are celebrating women. Today, we celebrate how far we've come, but realizing that we still have some ways to go. We are business professionals. We are entrepreneurs. We are community leaders, philanthropists, wives, and mothers. Can I get a round of applause for that? We are everything to everybody. We sometimes sometimes forget to put ourselves first and forget to take care of ourselves. Ladies, today we celebrate each other and every woman that came before us. Can I get another round of applause for that? I want to pose the question, what does International Women's Day mean to you? Now, we have a hashtag going on now. How many of you are on social media? So as you're sitting in your chairs, I encourage you to take pictures, and you can also answer the question, what does International Women's Day mean to me? And the hashtag is Balance for Better. Once again, Balance for Better. So please take as many pictures as possible, and we want you to celebrate and be in a celebratory attitude today as we are here on International Women's Day. At this time, I'd like to call Elaine Butterfield. Elaine is the Executive Director of the Women's Resource Center, a resource center for women who believe that women and their families, strengthened by a community that provides them with the education, employment opportunities, legal rights, and support they need in order to lead successful lives. I'd like you to put your hands together for Miss Elaine Butterfield.
Thank you. This is our day, yeah? Woo! Come on, better than that? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. It's so great to see all of you here this afternoon and to feel the support in celebration of International Women's Day 2019. We sincerely hope that something about today will inspire you to take this message and the great messages that you are about to hear beyond this celebration. International Women's Day is observed internationally as the day when women are recognized for their achievements without regard to national, ethnic, cultural, economic, or political divisions. It is an occasion, yep. Let's go, let's go. Thank you. It is an occasion for looking back on past struggles and achievements, and more importantly, for looking ahead to the issues and opportunities still to be addressed. The day is designed to help nations worldwide to eliminate the discrimination against women while also marking a call to action for accelerating gender balance. The slogan for this year is Balance for Better. Let's saturate the atmosphere with that. Let's say together, balance for better. Balance for better. Thank you. So let's talk about what balance should look like for a moment. Women are a major economic force in Bermuda, accounting for 52% of our population. You do the math. 52% is a significant portion of economic spending in our economy, and a clear reason to embrace balance and incorporate women's needs, values, and contribution in every area of decision-making. It is a basic and fundamental human right to participate in the choices for our future and that of our community. Collective action and shared responsibility for driving a gender-balanced society is key. Gender balance is essential for our economy and our community to thrive and to be sustainable. Balance is not a woman's issue. It is a societal issue. Thank you. This is a call to action, folks. A call for the more gender-balanced boardroom, our more gender-balanced government, our more gender-balanced media coverage, a gender balance of employees, a gender-balanced response to safety at home, in the workplace, and in the community, more gender balance in wealth, and the implementation of a national gender policy. As with any cultural shift, this will take time. Change always does. But we can begin today with you, and we can begin with me, to inspire our community to challenge limiting gender stereotypes and norms. If you were here last year, I charged everyone with not leaving here the same, but to spend the next year intentionally making a difference in the lives of women and men and boys and girls in Bermuda, by doing something towards making this island a better place, a more gender-balanced society of men and women as equal partners. This year, I leave you with a thought to ponder, that the point of feminism is not for women to have power over men, but for women to have power over themselves. Thank you.
As you can tell, I'm height challenged, so I got the tallest person here to actually fix the microphone for me. Can we give him a round of applause? I want to let everyone know that the Women's Resource Center will be going around. They actually have containers if you would like to make a donation. Also, to my left, I believe they also have a table where they have bracelets, pins, and pens, all for sale for $2, and all proceeds will actually go to the Women's Resource Center. I also want to let you know about our vendors that are here. We have Ashley's Lemonade over to the back right. My favorite, make sure you support. Also, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we have Buzz that's somewhere over to my left. Yes, there we go. So we just wanted to make sure that you're aware of who's here. So I was having a conversation with Mr. Christopher, and he said, you know, if you want to plan, go to a man. But if you want to get it done, who do we call? Girl power. Coming up next, we have Cathy Duffy. a lady of first Bermudian woman to obtain her CPCU, author of the first comprehensive book on the international insurance industry held captive, A History of International Insurance in Bermuda, the only woman on the SAGE Commission. Round of applause. Come on now. Listen, I need to stop here. Remember, we are celebrating today. We are celebrating. We're not sitting here at a funeral. We are celebrating and empowering women. And I'm sorry I have to say it. I have to be real with you guys. Also, she is the first Bermudian female country manager in Bermuda for AIG. I want you to put, yes, there we go, yes. I want you to put your hands together for none other than Cathy Duffy.
Wow. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out to support International Women's Day. I am Katherine Duffy. I am the first Bermudian woman, the first woman to lead AIG Insurance Bermuda. Even though I am a woman of many firsts, I am standing before you today still as an example of the need for this year's theme for International Women's Day, Balance for Better. How is it that in 2019 it is still rare for a double minority like me to be in a leadership position? According to ABIC data, out of every 100 executives, only 25 are women. Out of the same 100, regardless of gender, 5 are black. So how did a little black girl from Cedar Hill and White Hill get here? With a lot of faith, determination, continuous learning, patience, gratitude, and most certainly not by myself. I have a tribe of diverse people who are here with me today, still supporting me. Thank you, everyone, as my tribe. It is from this diverse group of people I learned how to be open to diversity of thought, to be willing to not limit myself to a particular sector of people. They encouraged me to broaden my perspective. They helped me to understand the only way our economies and communities will thrive is through gender balance and diversity. We will only achieve balance when each of us recognizes our choices dictate whether we are continuing stereotypes or we are shattering them, whether we are making room for more diverse voices to be heard or we are blocking their progress. Balance for better can only be achieved when we understand the role our legacy plays in opening doors for others. Maya Angelou once told Oprah Winfrey, "You have no idea what your legacy will be. Your legacy is every life you touch. It's not one thing, it's everything." If each one of us viewed what we do as legacy building, we will achieve balance for better. We need people of different races, ages, experiences, sexualities, and gender to help us to understand it is our differences that make us stronger. Our demographics are changing, and we need workforces and communities that are reflective of this dynamic if we are to thrive. Each one of us has a responsibility to better the balance. Diversity does not divide. In fact, it strengthens. Today, I come as one woman, but I stand as 10,000 different races, sexualities, ages, life experiences, and genders, one of the faces of our Balance for Better goal. Let's put our hands out and strike the Balance for Better pose and make International Women's Day our day. Let's all do what we can to make a positive difference for women and diversity everywhere. I am the change I want to see. Are you? Thank you very much.
Let's give her another round of applause. Now I feel like we're starting to get some energy. Come on, ladies, we got energy. Courageous women inspire and make a better world, says U.S. Consul General to Bermuda, Constance Dearman. Consul General Dearman is a senior diplomat and served as the Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Bureau of Human Resources of the Department of State prior to her arrival in Bermuda last June. A career member of the Senior Foreign Service, She has served overseas in Kabul, Baghdad, Bridgetown, Canberra, Geneva, and Washington, D.C. Can we please put our hands together for U.S. Consul Constance Dearman?
Good afternoon, everyone. As the third consecutive woman appointed to represent the United States here in Bermuda, now that's after 200 years and 44 men, I am thrilled to celebrate International Women's Day with this dynamic group and to also particularly recognize the countless women whose courage and resolve have contributed to the character and success of our world. The equal opportunity of women in every facet of daily life is an essential element of a free and prosperous society. Today, and all month long, we honor women who have fought for equality and against the status quo, and who have broken the bonds of discrimination, partiality, and injustice for the benefit of us all. Women who have created a legacy that continues to inspire other women to live in confidence, to have a positive impact on their communities, and to improve our world every single day. We all know that women's voices are critical to global security, to prosperity, and peace, which is why the U.S. Department of State annually presents the International Women of Courage Awards. Just yesterday, those awards were presented, and they recognized women who have demonstrated exceptional courage and leadership in advocating for peace, for justice, for human rights, gender equality, and women's empowerment, often at great personal risk and definitely sacrifice. Each of the 10 extraordinary awardees comes with a story that's inspiring, and it reminds me how individuals can and do make a difference. The women that were honored included human rights activists, police officers, a nun, and an investigative journalist. They demonstrated not only courage and leadership, but a deep resolve to fight day in and day out for what they believe in. These formidable women from around the world are leading initiatives to save the Amazon in Peru, expose corruption in Montenegro, save and protect girls and women from exploitation, just to name a few. And some paid the ultimate price, like Katerina Handziuk from Ukraine, who was just 33 years old and murdered for exposing corruption. These courageous women, working in some of the most challenging environments, reminds each of us to be brave wherever we are. They also remind us, words aren't always enough. You must take action too. Thank you to all the women here and to those around the world who, through small and large acts of courage and leadership, continue to strengthen our families, our communities, and workforce. We know that when women are fully empowered to reach their potential, they invest back into their families and communities, and that is what makes nations thrive. The U.S. Consulate values its partnerships with Government House, the Bermuda government, businesses, and NGOs that support education, entrepreneurship, economic prosperity, and the advancement of women and young girls. So together, let's continue to celebrate and support women, not just today, not just this month, but every single day. And remember with me, courage is contagious. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. On International Women's Day, we want to highlight the need for increased representation of women in empowered positions in governance and across the board in decision-making initiatives. This is the quote from Alison Crockett, Deputy Governor of Bermuda. Please make some noise as she comes to the podium.
Good afternoon. I'd also like to introduce you, please, to the Deputy Governors for today, Ms. Mackenzie Cole-Tuckett and Maya Yates. So far today, the two Deputy Governors for the day and I have been already discussing with some of the influential women in Bermuda how to progress and succeed as a woman in the world today. We're excited to learn more at this event and hope to contribute a little to the debate. International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural and political achievements of women, whilst also making a call to action for accelerating gender balance. As you know, and has already been said many times today, the theme for this year is Balance for Better. Balance for better is not just an altruistic notion that equality is somehow a good thing. It is in fact in everyone's interest. It's fundamental to whether and how economies and societies thrive. Ensuring the full development and appropriate deployment of half of the world's total talent pool has a vast bearing on the growth, competitiveness and future readiness of economies and businesses worldwide. Achieving this will require us to build a world that works for both women and men, and which leaves no one behind. Some people would have us believe that we're already there, or we're very close, and certainly there is no doubt that great strides have been made in many societies, this being one. However, when we look at the facts, we can see that much more is needed. The Global Gender Gap Index was first introduced by the World Economic Forum in 2006 as a framework for capturing the magnitude of gender-based disparities and tracking their progress over time. This year's edition benchmarks 144 countries on their progress around 4 thematic dimensions. This year's edition, said that already. Economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. It concludes that on current trends, the overall global gender gap can be closed in 100 years. The economic and health spheres are particularly lagging, and the economic gender gap wider this year than last, and health gender gap is larger now than it was in 2006. So if we genuinely believe that balance is better, business as usual will not do. I have 2 daughters who are strong, independent and successful young women of whom I am enormously proud. They deserve better, and so does every young woman and girl. We need to challenge at every level the assumptions and stereotypes that have kept women in low or no paid roles. The top 4 countries in the world to be a woman, according to the World Economic Forum, are Iceland, Norway, Sweden and Finland. The first thing that these countries have in common is universal, high-quality childcare, giving women the opportunity to join or rejoin the workplace after childbirth, and shared parental leave, giving men an equal chance to care for their children in a meaningful way. The key to balance is choice and the opportunity to fulfill potential. Not every woman wants to be in the boardroom, but if she does and she has the ability, then she should be. Likewise, those who choose to raise families and care for others full-time should also be valued equally for that decision. Men and women should be given the same opportunities to play to their strengths and have their talents recognised, regardless of what social norms tell them they should want. Balance means celebrating our difference. Balance also means mutual respect. I've heard this week about the Me Too backlash, that men at work are afraid to speak to women or be in the same room as them in case they're accused of harassment, and this might have a detrimental effect on women's opportunities. When I heard that, I was reminded of a woman I once worked with who was a talented and extremely effective advocate for children in care. And she was speaking at a meeting a bit like this one, and someone said, "But don't children lie about being abused?" She said, "Yes, they do. Children often say that nothing has happened when it has." For every woman that uses the Me Too cynically, there has been many who say nothing and put up with inappropriate words and actions at work and in the street. No one wants a sterile, humourless, politically correct environment to work and live in, but the laughter should be genuine and mutual, the attention welcome, and women should always be able to say no wherever they are without fear or reprisal. Finally, and I know that this is a celebration, and I don't want it to be otherwise, but I do want to say that this is an International Women's Day. Let us spare a thought just for a moment for those women who live in countries that do not enjoy the progress that we've seen, for those subject to honour killings, who are trafficked and sold into modern slavery, or who live in a war-torn area where rape is a common tool of the conflict. They depend on us and our continued efforts to build bridges and fight for gender parity wherever we can, so that one day they might also receive those same opportunities. Balance is better, and I believe achievable, and I'm proud to stand at this wonderful celebration of women and commit to my part in playing in that movement. Maya and Mackenzie here are a wonderful example of what the future can hold. Strong, capable women playing their part in the world. Happy International Women's Day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Deputy Governor. Tom Butterfield is the director of Masterworks Museum of Bermuda Art. And his mantra is, "We are born free, and therefore we are equal." Please welcome Tom Butterfield.
Oh, don't worry about that. I was told to keep it brief, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody. What a wonderful day, and thank you for this invitation. Today, like all days of the year, is your day. I've been told no more than 3 minutes, and you know what? I'm not in charge, and like a good man, I'm going to pay attention. What a wonderful thing it is to be able to celebrate. It is positive progress to bring fairness and justice, not just to the workplace, but as an integral part of our society. In a democratic society, we are all born free and therefore equal. But it doesn't take long for that basic right to become unhinged. This year's theme for the festival, She is Art, goes back through thousands of years. Nefertiti, Venus de Milo, Mona Lisa, Georgia O'Keeffe, Sharon Wilson, Iman. Now, my grandmother, Doris Trott Butterfield, was a card-carrying, placard-waving suffragette, and over here I've got a Votes for Women pin from it, and that will tell you how old I am. If she was a generation or two just ahead of me, and that was a long time ago. Her brother, Harley Trott, on the other hand, was gay, and being gay in a very zipped-up, conservative Bermudian society was verboten. The irony at the time could not have been greater. She was seen as non-essential, as she was a woman and couldn't vote. He could vote, but he was damned for his sexual orientation and had to leave Bermuda as a young man to seek a more accepting, tolerant society. When white women finally got the right to vote in 1944, it was a step toward a more just society. But it wasn't until 1968 when Bermuda finally adopted universal franchise, and that was the right to vote to all Bermudians. My more open views have been shaped by my predecessors. When Adam tore out his rib and created Eve, little would he have realized that it was then and there that work needed to be done to make a fair and just society. We all know that men never really grow up. Just look at our neighbor to the west, and if you ever really want to get the job done, you ask for a woman's wisdom and guidance. There is an archaic saying that behind every great man is a great woman. But I think that beside every great man is an even greater woman. Just come and look at Masterworks and you'll see what I'm talking about. By and large, we are so fortunate to live in such a bucolic environment, especially in a world of chaos around us. Bermuda, the microcosm that it is, has the opportunity of showing what fairness, justice, integration really looks like. No longer votes for women, votes for all on a playing field of equality. And lastly, may I throw in, when it comes to equality and fairness, education. Education isn't everything, it's the only thing. As Malcolm X said, without an education, you are not going anywhere in this world. Enjoy this great day every day of the year. Thank you very, very much.
Tom, and I have to say, you look really spiffy today. Check those shoes, I'm telling you, colorful. I just want to acknowledge all of the students are here, and I see some of your signs, and I'm just going to ask the students really, really quickly if you can stand up and just showcase your sign real quick. Press for progress. Yes, be bold for change. Be fearless. Let's give them a round of applause. Gender parity, balance for better. Yes, we have to, diversity is our strength. Happy Women's Day. She leads. The future is female. We're just getting started. Thank you so much, guys. You can have a seat. I got to make sure we acknowledge our young people because that's our future, all right? At this time, we are going to be entertained by one of the best singers on this island. She's going to come and sing Warrior is a Child by Twyla Paris, and her name is Joy T. Barnum. Did I get it right?
I'm not going to pretend I'm short, but I will say that I really love, I know favoritism is a horrible thing, but there is a placard over there that says I'm with her, and her, and her, and her, and her, and her. And I love it. I have sung twice for International Women's Day. I quit my job and took care of my nieces, and I decided that that was something that I could still do and still be a singer. So I brought them with me the first year, and I told everyone, if they come up while I'm singing, don't stop them, because they'll make more noise as opposed to just hanging onto my legs. And that was the first time I experienced what motherhood might be like, because I don't have any of my own. But I assume that when I do, they're going to be up on stage with me, because I don't believe that women have to separate or choose, or like my favorite Hallmark movies, we have to choose love over our jobs. I'm going to choose love every single time, and this year, I'm going to sing a song I've been asked to sing a cappella that actually helps and talks about how each woman, Danny, I see you, each woman is here for every woman. The amount of Facebook messages I get from females when somebody is having a bad time is overwhelming. It's supportive. It's walking down the street and saying, I love your lipstick, girl, and having her smile back. Because we have each other's back also when you have lipstick on your teeth. I'll tell you that too. This song is called Warrior as a Child, because the strongest part about being a female is being able to be vulnerable. Lately, I've been winning battles left and right. But even winners can get wounded in the fight. People say that I'm amazing, strong beyond my years. But they don't see the hurt in me. I'm hiding all my tears. They don't know that I come running home when I fall down. They don't know who picks me up when no one is around. I drop my sword and cry for just a while. 'Cause deep inside this armor, the warrior is a child. Unassuming 'cause my armor is the best. But even soldiers need a quiet place to rest. People say that I'm amazing and never face retreat. But they don't see the enemies who lay me at their feet. They don't know that I come running home when I fall down. They don't know who picks me up when no one is around. I drop my sword and cry for just a while. 'Cause deep inside this armor, the warrior is a child. They don't know that I go running home when I fall down. They don't know who picks me up when no one is around. I drop my sword and look up for a smile. 'Cause deep inside this armor, yes, deep inside this armor, the warrior is a child.
That was just a demonstration of what women do for each other. Joy has been filming live on Facebook, and she was trying to film herself, so she was actually going to put it here in the podium and film herself. And I was like, why are you going to do that? I'm here. I don't mind sitting in the sun and baking in order to film you singing, because that's what sisters do. So give her a round of applause. Coming up next, we have TJ Arman, who's the executive director of Bermuda Festival of the Performing Arts. He worked as a Broadway producer on shows like Stephen Sodom's Merrily We Roll Along, The Great Comet featuring Josh Groban, and he is also the protege of Atlantic Records vice president and producer, the late Arith Martin. Mr. Martin was also a producer for the Manhattan Transfer and Shaka Khan. How many of you went to Shaka Khan? I knew that would get somebody cheering. Mr. Arman brought both acts to this year's 44th annual Bermuda Festival. And the theme of the festival this season is Empowerment of Women. She is Art. Let's put your hands together for none other than TJ Arman.
Good afternoon. You know, every organization here is equal, but we have the biggest banners. As evidenced by our banners, International Women's Day, we've been celebrating this since January 19th. And when we started with two of Bermuda's most inspirational women in performing arts, Gita Blakeney-Soltis and Sheila Smith, who opened for the 10-time Grammy Award-winning vocal group, the Manhattan Transfer, whose lead singers are also two empowered women. When I first started curating the program last year, somebody asked if the Me Too movement and the empowerment of women theme would still be relevant in 6 months. I said, don't worry. She is Art will still be relevant in 600 years. So here's how we try to balance the program. We continue the program with Paul Taylor's Modern Dance, featuring a spectacular number from the Minoan culture, a matriarchal society. We went on with civil rights-themed Nina Simone for Women, where the famous line from Nina Simone was uttered by Broadway veteran Harriet Defoe, who said, "I met, married, and divorced my husband in 1 year. You can do that now." And we brought in a Tony Award nominee, Mary Bridget Davies, who was nominated for her role as the rock goddess, Janis Joplin. This was followed by the queen of funk herself. She was every woman. She was Shaka Khan. Bermuda's own Rebecca Falconberry and Heather Nova gave us the best of introspection, and they even helped discover a young Bermudian songwriting talent like Hannah Bushara, who mesmerized us with her songwriting talents. So tonight, we end the festival with Catherine Cates featuring Maria Callas in Tony Award-winning play Masterclass. And that's how we balanced the programming for She is Art. And I thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, TJ. Tatum Brewer is a Summerfield Academy student whose mantra is students supporting students. Can we put our hands together for Summerfield Academy student Tatum Brewer? Come on, we can do better than that. Come on, come on, come on. This is our future.
Good afternoon. Today, on International Women's Day, I was asked to speak on the topic of balance. Since I'm the only student speaker of the group, I thought it'd be important to look at balance from the perspective of a student and share my thoughts on the importance of balance in every facet of one's life, but particularly in the life of a teenager. I'm currently an M4 at Summerfield Academy, and at the end of this school year, will have completed 4 years of the International Baccalaureate Middle Years program. Throughout this program, 10 learner profiles are integrated into our curriculum, one being the profile of balanced. To quote IB, a balanced student understands the importance of intellectual, physical, and emotional balance to achieve personal well-being for yourself and others. When reflecting on this learner profile and considering its influence on today's generation of young people, what stands out to me are the goals of being a balanced person. Of course, being intellectually balanced requires you to become an active learner, to push yourself intellectually, and to forever inquire and seek information on a range of topics. Tomorrow's educational system does not celebrate rote memorization of facts, but encourages a generation of thinkers, inquirers, and problem solvers who have the skills to identify problems and seek solutions in a thoughtful, powerful, and creative way. Students today have so many extracurricular commitments, and here in Bermuda, we are so lucky to have this incredible outdoor environment to support our physical well-being. Being physically balanced leads to greater overall health and wellness, and is very closely linked to emotional balance, which dictates our outlook on every aspect of life. Students across Bermuda have taken a special interest in mental health issues, and I believe are coming to better understand the importance of supporting each other and seeking support from peers and adults around us. What stands out the most to me in the IB Learner Descriptor is balance to achieve personal well-being for yourselves and especially others. Today, we are specifically celebrating women's rights and balance in gender equality. A well-known quote says, "Gender equality is not a woman's issue, it's a human issue. It affects us all." One of my passions is mentoring younger girls and supporting them in their academic and social development. Looking out for the well-being of others, particularly older girls connecting with younger girls, is the best way I can see to support others. My mentees come to me with questions and issues that we talk through. I hope that by leading by example, living a balanced life, and taking time to enjoy the journey, I'll set a powerful example for younger girls to pause and do the same. I look forward to the day where gender equality and all forms of equality are considered a commonplace. I look forward to the day when balance in gender equality is deemed as important as maintaining every other form of balance in one's life. Thank you.
These are powerful words from a young person's mouth. Can we give her another round of applause? Sweetheart, I think you're going to do big things in the future. We're just going to look out for you. I just need to get your contact information after this. Seriously. A mother of two, an aspiring mentor, a champion for diversity and inclusion, and a partner in the PwC Bermuda insurance practice, Marissa believes that by recognizing, respecting, and valuing each and everyone's differences, we create a culture that is truly inclusive. Let's welcome Marissa Savage.
Hello, everyone. Before I get started today, I wanted to thank the organizing committee for their careful ordering of today's speakers. You have heard from distinguished diplomats, You have listened to one of Bermuda's finest voices. You've heard from Bermuda's youth. How can it possibly get better? 3 words: chartered professional accountants. That's right. You get to hear from the accounting firms now, and I'm first on deck. You've been standing here for almost an hour, and you've already heard 7 different perspectives on International Women's Day and Balance for Better. This is my perspective. Balance is hard. It's hard on our diet, salad or fries. It's hard in our budgets. Bermuda has its first balanced budget in 16 years. It's hard to balance work and life, and it's hard to achieve gender balance in the classroom, in the courtroom, and in the boardroom. I think we can make achieving greater gender balance a lot less hard by improving flexibility for both men and women. Since starting my family nearly 10 years ago, PwC has provided me and some of my colleagues the opportunity of a reduced working schedule. PwC also offers opportunities to work from home and remotely. Without this option, I may have hung up my calculator a long time ago. But because of that, I'm still here today and able to balance my commitments at home and be standing here. Now, I recognize flexible working is not a desire nor a possibility for everyone for various different reasons. But I would like to see other organizations be more open-minded to flexible working. And today, on International Women's Day, I'm urging both employees and employers to have the conversation and discuss the possibilities. Because flexible working arrangements not only benefit employees, but the employer as well. They boost engagement and morale, they grow the pool of available talent, they increase retention, and they can reduce costs. So when solving the gender balance equation, flexibility is certainly part of the solution. I encourage us all, men, women, employees, and employers, to look at how flexibility can be used as one tool to achieve better balance in our workplaces. On behalf of the partners and staff at PwC, thank you all for coming out today to join in Bermuda's 2019 International Women's Day festivities. I want to especially thank all the men in attendance today who have come out to show their support, because we can't have better balance without you. Thank you, and have a great weekend.
Chartered accountants! Woo! I just want to remind everyone that to make a donation to the Women's Resource Center, we actually have someone that was going around, and they also had pins and a few other items on sale for $2. So please support what the Women's Resource Center does in the community. That's great work. Can we give them a round of applause? Also, we have Buzz to my left. Buzz, are you still there? And he's looking really lonely. Don't worry, Buzz, I'm hungry. I'll be over there. Also, we have Ashley's Lemonade to my right in the back, so make sure you go and support our local vendors. Edith Jaworski, did I get it right? Oh, look at that. First time and I got it. Normally I mess up everyone's name. She has been navigating through this male-dominated financial services industry for the past 20 years and now serves as an audit partner at EY here in Bermuda. Congratulations. She is passionate about diversity and inclusiveness and plays a pivotal role in mentorship programs at EY. Please welcome Edie Jaworski.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am so proud to be standing here today representing EY, the founding sponsor of this event. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Although I don't know many of you in the audience, I'm sure that we can relate on many levels. I'm a mother, a daughter, a wife, a sister, and a partner at EY, and all these roles are really important to me. The statistics are clear. Companies are more profitable and governments have operated better when they have a balance of women, men at leading roles. Do we really want to wait 200 years for gender parity? No, we do not. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is I'm reflecting back on my experiences in my 20 years and what were some of the things that helped me, because I think if we all make small actions, men and women, everybody here, I think we really can work wonders in closing the gender gap. I'm going to talk about 3 things. The first item is ignoring societal norms. Over 10 years ago, my husband Matt and I decided that we wanted to start a family, but I was also at a pivotal moment in my career. I wanted to make partner. So we decided that Matt would stay home with the kids and I will continue working. I know this may seem normal today, but just 10 years ago, it was not widely accepted. It was a lot of times very uncomfortable for me, and I'm sure it was even more uncomfortable for Matt. But I love the fact that my 2 kids, my son and my daughter, now look at us and say, you know what, mommy has a business dinner, that's totally normal. And dad's making my play dates for me, that's totally normal. Because what that shows me is that they will go after their dreams and not base it on gender bias. They will do what they want to do. So my call to action to all of you today, please, let's work together to get rid of gender bias. Let's get rid of these societal norms. Let's support people who are fighting back against them because they are probably not feeling that comfortable right now. The second thing I wanted to touch on was mentorship. On my first day at work, I was lucky to work with someone who has been turned out to be my mentor for my whole career. Even though we are now in different countries, we still talk on a weekly basis. He always makes time for me to talk and give me advice when I need it. He gives me the confidence I need to take ownership and drive my career. Reflecting back on our mentorship, it made me realize how important it is to have someone who is looking out for you. So my call to action to you all here today is be a mentor and sponsor a woman to support their progression. Look around you at work, at school, in your family. Find a talented woman and be intentional about taking her under your wing. Share your experiences and, more importantly, your mistakes so that they can benefit from them as well. Push them to be confident, to take ownership of their career and drive it and not wait for a promotion to be handed to them. The last topic I just wanted to cover briefly was work culture. One of the toughest transitions I had to make in my whole career was coming back to work after having my daughter Sophia. I would be going back to work at the busiest time of year, and I wasn't sure how I was going to manage. I finally mustered up the courage to ask for a flexible work arrangement. They are a little more common now, but again, 10 years ago, not so much. I didn't know anybody on one. Without any hesitation, he agreed and told me, Edie, we'd rather have you 80% than no percent. This was a pivotal moment in my career. I'm pretty sure I would not be here today had he not given that flexibility to me. So see EY's commitment to flexibility in action and have access to programs like Women Fast Forward and Board Apprentice makes me realize how important it is for a company's culture on their employees for them to be successful. So please help shape your company's culture, use your company's programs, demonstrate flexibility, and be supportive of all those who might be struggling through the same things that you've been through. In summary, I think if we could walk away today from this awesome celebration and be intentional in making some of these changes, what a significant impact we could have in closing the gender gap right here in Bermuda. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And she hit on something that actually really I'm passionate about, which is mentorship. And I want to encourage the ladies and everyone that's out there. It's very, very important for us to give back to that next generation. All right? It really, really is. So thank you for sharing that. At the end, I just want to let everyone know we have dignitaries and everybody that's here in the audience. We want to take a group shot. So if you guys can stick around just for a little bit longer so that we can have a nice group shot. We have some media here that would like to take that picture, so please stick around. Coming up next, we have Kristin Burt from EY. She's a daughter, a sister, aunt, friend, colleague, wife of the Premier, early the wife of the Premier David Burt, and Nia and Ed's mommy. I would like you to put your hands together for the First Lady of Bermuda, none other than Kristin Burt.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the introduction. Today's been amazing. We've gotten our heart rates up with Zumba, and the excitement has only grown as we listen to each of our speakers share their inspirational journeys and contributions toward building a gender-balanced world. As we all prepare to head back to our daily routines, I want to take a few moments to encourage each of you to join me in finding ways to translate the energy and inspiration of this International Women's Day celebration into meaningful actions every day. We've heard from Elaine Butterfield from the Women's Resource Center and some of the programs that they do to enhance the lives of women by supporting their families, strengthening our communities, and fostering community. So if that mission speaks to you, give to support them. Whether you give your time, share your talent, or make a financial donation, we can all make a difference. Representation today by women in the arts and entertainment has been phenomenal. Thanks to Joy Barnum, we've had TJ Arman, who shared with us how the Bermuda Festival and She Is Art contributed to women in the art scene, and of course our MC Power Girl. And we can't forget about Tom Butterfield, who also shared his perspective on diversity and inclusion. From today, let's all make a conscious effort to support the women and girls around us, not only in the arts and entertainment, but any dreams they decide to pursue. From our amazing student speaker, Tayden Brewer, to our seasoned international businesswomen, Cathy Duffy, Marissa Savage, and Edie Jaworski, to our representatives from foreign diplomatic corps, U.S. Consul General Constance Dearman and Deputy Governor Allison Crockett. Each has not only blazed a path in their own right, they also touched upon the importance of mentorship in their journeys. So all of us, men and women alike, can be generous and share our experiences with young women who show interest and potential in our fields of expertise. For my part, while I'm impressed by all of the work that we're doing to build a gender-balanced world today, I'm truly inspired by the opportunity we all have to shape the future through children. We have a golden opportunity to help them grow up without the gender-biased norms, ideas, and attitudes that have limited the aspirations, opportunities, and outcomes of so many women and girls before us. We can teach our boys and girls where a woman's place is, And a woman's place is in the houses of parliament, in executive boardrooms, in science, technology, engineering, and math-based professions, technical trades, arts and entertainment, on the sporting fields, and in the homes, wherever they choose to go. Our young people are watching us, so we owe it to each of them to play our part and be an example of balance for better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, First Lady. I want to leave you with this quote before we finish. Feminism has never been about getting a job for one woman. It's been about making life fair for women everywhere. It's not about a piece of the existing pie. There are too many of us for that. It's about baking a new pie. This is from Gloria Steinem. Can we have a round of applause for that quote? So let's start baking that new pie, ladies. We would like to thank the sponsors today: EY Bermuda, PwC, Willis Towers Watson, Wakefield Quinn. Let's give them a round of applause. Also, the organizing committee, we have Wendy Percy, Allison Morrison. I don't know if they want to wave, they probably don't. Crystal Torek, Morgan Simons, Laura Knox, Cordelia Davis, Elaine Butterfield, and of course, Katarina Hoskins. We want to thank everyone for coming out, and let's give a loud round of applause for International Women's Day 2019. I hear that bell. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and at this time, we're going to ask everyone to come to the front, as I know that we're going to try to take a group